John Wallace here with Wild Game Cook, and we're here with Remington today, and we're going over part 2, the more advanced processing equipment to have at your house. Be sure to check out part 1 for the basics. Starting off, we've got the Dehydrator. Pretty basic piece of equipment, not necessarily needed for the basics, but it's great to have because you can make deer jerky, which is everyone's favorite. Benefits to this versus your oven, it allows you to get to a lower temperature, which gives you more flexibility. Next up, we're gonna move to the slicer. Next is this beautiful slicer. So what a slicer brings to the table is consistency with cuts. So whether you're making jerky and you want everything to be the same thickness so it finishes on your dehydrator or your smoker the same time, the slicer is gonna give you that. If you're gonna make Philly cheese steak sandwiches and you wanna slice your venison sirloin tip very, very, very thin, you've got that option. Next up, we've got the stuffer. The stuffer is a great item to add to your arsenal because it allows you to set the pace. You can use your grinder and the stuffing tubes that come with it as a stuffer, but if you don't have the foot pedal, it oftentimes is tough to keep the pace. This is a 5-pound stuffer. They make them in 7-pound. They make them in electric. They make them larger. This one suits our needs for our family just fine. This is what we use to make summer sausage, brats, and snack sticks. So you use a different tube depending on the final application. You mix your meat, you put it in there, you crank it by hand, and make beautiful sausage. Next up, we've got some miscellaneous items that are most certainly worth having in your arsenal. All right, to round out part 2 of the advanced equipment for home processing, we've got a meat scale. I use this meat scale a lot to determine how much fat I need to add to my meat for a 20% ratio or a 33% ratio if I'm making sausages. If I'm making small batches like jerky or brats or Polish sausage, there's a certain amount of meat I need for the size of the seasoning packet. We've got a jerky gun, which works great for ground meat jerky. We've got oxygen absorbers, so that if you wanna make your deer jerky, your very valuable red gold deer jerky here last longer, throw an oxygen packet in there. And lastly, we've got these juice absorbing pads. So you would throw this either on a fresh cut of meat after your harvest and you want to put it in the fridge and eat it that night or the next day, or you vac seal this and it's going to help drain those juices away as it's in the freezer and as it's thawing out. That wraps up part 2 of the advanced home processing. I hope this inspires you to go out and make the investment into doing home processing for yourself. Be on the lookout for the next video.